Hello and good morning and welcome to this fabulous day. My name is Anushka, for those of you that don't know me, and today I wanted to talk to you about something beautiful and wonderful called Swadharma. Now, some of you may have heard of Dharma, some of you may have heard of Karma, but these are all Sanskrit terms which are working with how we live our lives in the best and most beautiful possible way. So Dharma is essentially how we live a good life. I don't mean the good life, I mean a good life. So how we actually go through our daily actions every moment, every day, and actually enjoy working on a step-by-step basis with things that are empowering for us and empowering for other people. We're not being, nasty to people. We aren't harming people. We're subscribing to a life that is good and empowering for everybody. And that is living a dharmic life or dharmic lifestyle. Now, the thing is with Dharma, it's very beautiful and easy to see your path. It's laid out before us, actually. There's many good examples and role models out there in the world of people living a dharmic lifestyle. There are lots of people that aren't. So we have to be very wise with who we choose to emulate with our thoughts of who should be a role model of a dharmic lifestyle. However, there's another concept which is slightly more refined, and this is where what I wanted to share with you today, and that is about your Swadharma. Now, the Swa, S-W-A, on the front of Dharma, Swa means mine, yours, your own. What is it that you were born to be? Who is it you were born to become? And that's what we call your Swadharma. Now, Swadharma is all of those things that I've just described: living a life of beauty, living a life of health, vibrance, contribution, giving back to the world. All of those things are included within a dharmic lifestyle. But when you come to Swadharma, what does that mean for you? And that's what I wanted to explore this morning, because essentially we are born with the most incredible gifts. Some of us are creative, some of us are caring and loving, some of us are excellent at communication, some of us are really good at meditating, some of us are fantastic at keeping fit and working with our physical health. There's so many gifts that we were born with, which aren't necessarily the obvious. Sometimes they are, like you get the amazing musicians that can play an instrument at the age of 4 at grade 8 or something. You're like, how do they do that? Or these incredible artists that just seem to magically be able to emulate what's in front of them and put it onto a 2-dimensional canvas. We look at those in awe and kind of go, wow. But do you know what? Each and every one of us have those gifts that we've been born with. And how we then use those gifts is where it comes into Dharma and Swadharma. Because we've been given those gifts, it's then up to us how we then utilize them, and what is it that we're going to do with them for the benefit of ourselves and everyone around us, and potentially even the world. So Swadharma is, what is it that you were born to do? What is it that you were, who is it that you were born to become? That's where you're looking at Swadharma. And it's really interesting, because what you're doing right now might be along the track of living your Swadharma. Quite often you're drawn to, in your work, working in a certain way, or a particular job that is supportive of your Swadharma. But believe it or not, so many of us aren't. And that's where we have to start making quite strong choices and questions about how is it that we want to change our day-to-day actions to take us more towards our Swadharma. And let me just give you a couple of examples. I was thinking about it this morning and I was like, is this going to confuse you? But let's see if this metaphor will work for you. So I was thinking about trees and these beautiful, amazing elements of nature that grow from a seed like a nut or an acorn, and they grow into the most extraordinary and the most beautiful tree. and that is its dharma. It is born to grow. And as it does so, it takes the nutrients that are given to it from the earth, from the water, from the heavens in the form of the air and the sun, and it transmutes it all into the most beautiful chemical processes, and in that process it then grows and flourishes into the tree. So what is the purpose of that tree? Obviously, it helps us because it takes in and exchanges the gas, so carbon dioxide and oxygen, and helps us to offset naughty things that we've done in the past. But also it provides fruits, it provides shelter, it provides woods for burning the fires for us. So it's got different purpose. Now the thing is, what I was thinking was, oh, that's its dharma. In terms of a Swadharma, what was that tree born to be or born to become if we were to apply it to ourselves? For example, if it's going to grow really, really tall, straight and strong like a pine or a spruce, it may well be that the dharma of that tree is to become the mast of a ship, for example. Or that it's planted in an orchard and it creates the most beautiful apples or pears or plums or all these amazing succulent fruits that we then enjoy. And maybe being planted in an orchard is different from being just in the middle of a forest self-seeded. So do you see how I mean? It's still the same thing, like the fruits will still flourish and blossom, but the dharma or the swadharma of that tree is then to nourish people by providing fruits that are then picked and taken and shared. So when we apply that to our own lives, how is it that we can look at what is our dharma? What is it that feels natural to us to do? What are our gifts? But then the swadharma element is, how am I going to use those gifts to then be of benefit to mankind? How am I going to take my understanding and my knowledge of finance and share it with people so that they don't overspend money and they learn how to save or whatever it is? Is it being able to communicate? Is it being able to meditate for world peace, that you take on? I find it really easy to meditate. Therefore, I'm going to take on, as part of my Swadharma, a daily practice whereby I dedicate that peace and that intention of goodwill, and I dedicate it out to the world. Do you see? It rather than doing the meditation for yourself, you're taking an opportunity to leave, almost like leave a legacy for the future. What is it that you're doing that's going to support your others and in the community and potentially even the world? So I hope that that's kind of opened our eyes just a little bit this morning into what it is that we're doing with our lives, because it's very easy to get caught in the day-to-day running of going shopping and cooking and speaking to friends and looking after the kids and everything else that comes up on a day-to-day basis. But if we aren't careful, we can get caught in that humdrum kind of existence of making sure that today is okay, that we forget that we might want to make a small tweak and a small change so that in a week's time, in a month's time, our trajectory is slightly different from the way that we're going right now. And that's what I'd love to invite you to do this week, is just to analyse and look at your life and decide, are you going in the right direction towards living the purpose that you were born to be? If you want a little bit more help on this, then on Wednesday evening, I'm going to be sharing a Drew dance, and it's a fantastic yoga-based sequence based on this whole concept of Dharma and Swadharma, and how we can engage consciously through yoga, through meditation, through mudras, hand gestures, into a world where we are consciously making steps towards living our Swadharma. So if you're interested, do check it out. It's on this Wednesday, on the 23rd of September at 7 p.m. And I look forward to seeing you there. Take care and see you soon. Bye for now.